When the sun goes down, here with you I'm found. In your love I drown. I wouldn't have it any other way. Ooh, I'm making memories with you. All of the stupid things we do. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to video number 1 of my brand new Farmhouse Makeover series. I have been so excited to share this new series with you guys. My brother and sister-in-law actually live up in Montana on a farmhouse that they built themselves, but they have just not ever really gone through different rooms in their house and really styled them or made them really functional. So they have 4 boys and 1 daughter, and so today we are going to be doing the room that has all 4 boys in 1 bedroom. It's definitely caused a lot of struggle for them not having a good bed situation, dressers and storage and things like that. And so I'm super excited to be able to come in here and totally make over their space. We are going to be basically starting from the ground up in here and just pulling everything out and just completely transforming the space. I am so beyond excited to do this for my nephews and also be able to share it with you guys and hopefully give you some inspiration and ideas for your own home. So before we get going, I'm actually going to turn you around and really kind of show you what we are starting with, and then you can see the transformation as it progresses. So let's go ahead and jump on into it.
Walked in darkness, my home was a night. They came into my life, showed me brilliant light.
So the first thing that I wanted to do was just pull everything out of the room, and as you can see they do have a traditional bunk bed and then also a queen size mattress just on the floor, and that is their sleeping situation right now. They also did not have enough clothing storage for all 4 of the boys, so we are going to be pulling everything out of this room and then starting from scratch. When they built their farmhouse they did not get any new furniture, and so they are just kind of making do with what they had. So I'm really excited to transform this room for them and just make everything really functional and make all of the pieces in here really work well with the space.
We have basically everything out of here minus the big furniture. So we have their old bunk bed and then their old dresser, the big mattress on the floor. I also have this like chest in the closet and then the toys that are kind of around it. So we are going to pull all of that out, but we'll kind of do like a quick clean in here and start building some furniture.
Grace that never ends. I know that you with me. Take me to a new.
So this is their old dresser that they had most of their clothes in. Obviously this is not going to fit all of the boys' clothes, so they did have a few drawers underneath the bed, and that was basically their clothing storage situation. So we are going to be doing something a little bit differently in this bedroom. I cannot wait to show you how well it ends up turning out, and that is just one of the places that we are going to be bringing function to today. So here, since we had every single piece of furniture pulled out of the room, which does not always happen, I really wanted to make sure that we got the floors super clean. Now their mop had actually just broken, and because we were just visiting Montana from Utah, I did not have my mop, and so I just got on my hands and knees and started scrubbing the floor as best I could. All right, we have everything pulled out of the room, and it's so echoey in here, so sorry about that. But we have every single piece of furniture, minus my tripod, pulled out of the room. I have the floor cleaned. Now Kyle and I are going to bring in the huge cube organizer that I will kind of talk about later on for their storage for like their clothes. So we are going to bring the cube organizer in, get that built, and then we are also going to bring in their new bunk bed. Alright, so now we are getting into starting to build the furniture, and the first furniture piece that Kyle and I are going to be building is the cube organizer. Now this is a crazy huge cube organizer. It's actually from IKEA, but I will link another one down below in case if you don't have an IKEA near you. This is a 25 cube organizer, and this is going to be perfect for the shared boys' bedroom. So I'm going to set it up in the way that each of the boys will have one entire row, which means they will have 5 cubes in total. And then they're also going to have a small spot on top. And that way they'll each have an open cube that they can keep something special in there and just have some nice separated space, even though they are sharing a bedroom. If you've seen my other makeover videos in the past, you have probably seen me use cube organizers all over. I feel like they are such a great use of space. They are really functional and great to organize with, and they've also made them over the years a little bit higher quality, and so they end up looking really nice in any space and just kind of elevating the space as well. So that is why I love cube organizers and why you probably see me use them a lot. We got the cube organizer built. It is big, but it actually fits really nicely in this room. I felt like it was just the perfect solution for having 4 boys in the room. So this is the cube organizer that we just built. My plan for this is to have cubbies as drawers for each of the boys. So like one row will be the youngest, the next row is the next youngest, next, and the next. And then also I wanted to give them each a little cubby that is going to be each of their own individual space. They can put like trophies or kind of whatever little things just so they have their own little space in the room. I know sometimes when you have a shared room, it's really hard to have personal space in that room. And so that's what I really wanted to create with this is it's very functional here, but I also wanted to include something a little extra just so they each have their own space. So I'm really excited for them to see that. So here you're just seeing Kyle and my brother start to install the barn door rail. Now they actually made their barn doors from wood that they had at their farm, but I'm going to link down below a barn door that is very similar to theirs. You would just have to stain it as well. And then I also am going to link the exact hardware that they used. I loved how everything turned out. And we're actually planning to do something super similar down in our own basement when we install our own barn doors. So here Kyle and I are starting to build the triple bunk bed for the boys. Now this particular bunk bed is a little bit more unique than just a triple bunk bed, which is already super functional, but because they are having 4 boys in this bedroom, I wanted to make sure that we had a sleeping space for every single boy, and I still wanted to leave as much floor space as I could. And so for that reason, I ended up choosing a triple bunk bed with 2 twins on the top 2 bunks and a full bunk on the bottom, and that way I would just give them the maximum sleeping space, but also not take up a whole bunch of extra room on the ground. All right, we finally got the entire bed built. I felt like it was easier than I thought it was gonna be, but it was time consuming.
It took a while, but it was easier. It was pretty straightforward to build it.
Yeah. This is the view out the boys' window, and you can see 2 of their horses just grazing. It's so pretty out here. There's our camper. We've just been staying in the camper. And then, oh, you can't see it, but all the kids are over there playing on the trampoline. Okay, so I just walked out of the room to go get like all the decor and just all of the bedding and just things like that to put into the bedroom. And it is such a wreck out there. Overwhelming, honestly, but it is just 100% like how it goes when you're doing a makeover, especially when you're doing a makeover like this where you're doing like everything all at once. I just always like to share that, so I'm gonna take you guys out there and show you. Don't ever feel like you have to have it together all the time. This is basically a good example of how life is for everyone always. Like when one part of your life is looking really good, another part is just falling apart. It's just life. So this room is looking amazing right now. The rest of the house, not so much. But we will get that tackled tomorrow or later on this week as we take it throughout the rest of the other rooms. I'm so happy with how everything is turning out. I am starting to lose some sunlight just because building everything took a bit longer. I think this makeover is going to end up going into tomorrow, but that's okay. It just takes the time it takes and it'll be so worth it. So as I'm putting on the boys' new bedding, I wanted to mention why I am doing just a fitted sheet. Now, if you are able to order Betty's bedding or something like that, where you have like the zip it up bedding, that is perfect. I feel like that's probably the best way to do bunk beds. However, those can be pretty pricey. And so if you don't choose to do Betty's bedding or something similar to that, I would definitely suggest trying out my method that I've used for my boys for years. And that is just using a fitted sheet and then folding a comforter or quilt and putting that at the bottom of their bed. It makes it really nice and easy to make your bed because you literally pull the blankets off and then fold it up and put it at the bottom of the bed each day. And there's no fuss with having to tuck everything into a bunk bed. It's just really nice and easy. So that's what I decided to do for their bed as well. Alright, so it's actually the next day. I was starting to lose light, so I decided to just pause for the night. We actually ran into town and got a couple of the things that I needed for a few of the other room makeovers, and so I think we're pretty much set to go forward with everything. This shelf built and put in, we have the bunk bed put in. You can see they were working on a barn door yesterday, so later today they will put the barn door in, and as soon as we get the closet all situated, then I'm going to start decorating in here, and I'm super excited just to see it all come together. But already it is just such a huge difference from what it was yesterday when we first started, so I can't wait to see how everything kind of starts to unfold.
The sun goes down, here with you I'm found. In your love I drown, I wouldn't have it any other.
So here I'm just using some chalkboard labels. I will link some down below in case if you would like to order some as well. But I do the same thing with my own boys' clothes. I've just found it so nice to be able to label their clothes, and it makes it really nice to help them be a little bit more independent. And so for the older kids, I will actually write out the words of what clothes are in each bin. And then for the younger ones, I will actually draw out a little picture, and it really helps them be a little bit more independent when finding their clothes each day. So the coat hook that I got for the boys' room is actually from IKEA. I really loved it. I want to say it was around $10, but it looks super high end, and I just ended up painting it white. And then you have like these little hooks on here, and then also in front of the hooks you have like a little nameplate. So I'm actually not going to write anything on the nameplate. They can choose if they want to do that, but we are just going to install that now.
Take me by the hand, let's forget our plans.
So I really did not choose to include a whole ton of wall decor. I wanted this room to be really simple and still styled, but any of the wall decor that I did get pretty much came from Hobby Lobby. I will do my best to find the links and share them down below with you guys, just like everything else in the video that I can find. I always try to link everything either here in the video, in the description box, or also over on my website.
We have, I wouldn't have it any other way.
So here I'm just starting to work on the curtain situation, and I wanted to do something very simple and minimal in this space, but I also wanted to make it very budget friendly and just not spend a whole ton on curtain rods. So this DIY curtain rod is something that I would definitely suggest trying out in your own home, and I will have everything linked down below as well for this. But all you're going to do is get some leather strap and cut it down to size depending on how low you want your curtain rod to hang. And then to make it a little bit easier, we are just drilling a hole into the leather to line it up, and then we will screw that right into the wall. And then next you're just going to take a pipe or a wooden dowel that you have painted if you want to paint it, or you can keep it natural as well. And then just slide your curtain into that and slide that into the leather straps that you've attached to the wall. And that is it. It really could not be simpler. And depending on what type of rod you use, it can cost under $10 to do this. And I feel like it just looks so amazing.
With you, all of the stupid things we do. We may be young, but we are wild and free, making memories.
So for the DIY, all I am using here are just some wooden frames that I had found at Hobby Lobby. You can really use any frame that you want for this. And then all I'm going to do is hot glue some mini clothespins to the top middle of the wooden frame. And then that way you can add in your kids' artwork, you can print things off that they love. You can really make this as customized as you want. And I also love that this is something that really costs you nothing to keep up and change out as their tastes and interests change over time. So here I'm just starting to add in all of the boys' clothes, and as you can see, this is working out so well. I was so amazed with how much clothes they had and still how much room they had left in their bins. Everything is all nice and organized. Everything is really separated, and I feel like this is going to be so beneficial for their family and for their boys' shared room and just bring a lot of organization into this space. And I also love that it was the most cost-effective way to store 4 boys' clothes in one room, and it also took up the least amount of floor space. So So here we are just starting to add in the custom closet built-ins, and a great way to do this is to get a 5-cube organizer and then stick that into your closet, and then you're able to attach it right to the wall and then add your rods on either side of it. It makes it so nice and easy, and you definitely don't have to weld like my brother was doing here. You can totally just use wooden dowels or whatever you can find at the hardware store to make it a little bit easier on yourself, but this can make a closet so functional and useful, but without spending a ton of money on a custom closet.
My heart's been ripped wide open. So many mixed emotions. It's like I finally noticed I've been set free. I've been set free. I spent a lifetime running, fearing what I'd become if I stop playing goalie on all of my thoughts, yeah. Speaking out straight from my heart, but now I see. Oh, I see this love is taking over, breaking through my chest and overflowing with every single.
So I feel like this makeover particularly really shows that you don't have to add too much decor to a room. You can really just add a few statement pieces here and there, and it can still have such great style without being overwhelmed and just feeling cluttered. I really wanted to keep it very simple in here because there was going to be a lot going on already with the big bunk bed and also with all of the cube organizer and everything, and so I wanted to keep it really simple, but I still wanted to style it in a way that reflected the boys' interest and also gave them a little bit of their own space, just to help them feel like they had their own personal space even though it was a shared room. So even though we do have 4 clothing rods here, I am actually going to just be keeping all of the boys' clothes up top on the top rod, and that way I'm able to kind of tuck in their double laundry baskets so they each have a laundry space to put their dirty clothes in, and then they also have all of the cubbies in between, and they can use that space to get even more function out of the space.
Oh, I see this love is taking over, breaking through my chest and overflowing with every single beat.
So this is the before of the bedroom. If you can remember that, everything was kind of everywhere. Nothing really had a great space. Their sleeping situation wasn't fitting for all 4 boys in this bedroom, and neither was their clothing situation. And their closet also was really just kind of a mismatch of everything. And then here is the after. I love this so much. This is one of my favorite spaces that I've ever made, and it makes me so happy to be able to do this for my nephews and just make this space a place that they really can go into and enjoy being in and have a place to play and a place to sleep and just store all of their clothes and just make everything really nice and organized and simple for them. I love the touches of adding the wooden elements into here as well as all of the metal, and I also feel like while we were able to add a lot of function into this space and just make great use of all of the areas that they have, I also feel like I was able to add in a little space for each of them and just help them kind of know that they have their own personal space in this room, even though it is shared with all of their brothers. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope this gave you tons of ideas for your own home and your own spaces, and I hope that you're just as excited as I am for the next upcoming makeovers. I have 3 more videos that I will be sharing with you guys, so make sure that you're subscribed with your notification bell on so that you do not miss out on those ones. I cannot wait to share the rest of this farmhouse series makeovers with you guys. I hope you have the most amazing day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!
All of these ones are mine?
All of those are yours.